What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ballhawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and hopefully I timed that close enough to where, hey, the show actually starts at 7 o'clock, not 7:01. But whatever it is, hey, it is a Friday. It is a day before we face the Pittsburgh Steelers in the finale for the preseason. A lot of things to digest from that. Who's going to make the team? Who's not going to make the team? Who's going to be, working somewhere else other than the Detroit Lions come tomorrow? That I don't know, but we're going to find out in short order because, as we all know, we go quickly from this game to just a couple days later, the final 53-man roster will be revealed. Practice squads will be diced out across the entire league. Whoever doesn't get claimed by other teams from waiver wire claims, then yes, they are eligible for the practice squad. So before we get into everything, though, just so you guys know, at the bottom of the hour, we have Hutch Jr. joining us. Mike Kipp is going to be on here talking to us about today's main topic and some other Detroit Lions topics. But I'm sure, as you could tell from the thumbnail when you clicked on for the show, could the Detroit Lions coaching staff actually be the best in the entire NFL? Let that sink in for a long time, Lions fans. The Detroit Lions have coaches other people want. That alone is breaking news. But anyways, ESPN ranked the NFL's coaching staffs and said the Detroit Lions were the second best in the whole league. I think an argument could be made for that. If you look at the coaching staff as a whole, we might just have the best in the entire league under the shield. Because when you look at some of the guys, we all know it. For a couple seasons now, a lot of our guys have been interviewing for head coaching jobs. And I think some of them may have turned them down. Some of them may take those opportunities after this upcoming season. Whatever it is, we'll dive into that after we get through just a couple quick things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're trying to make that push for 7,500 subs, and we're about 90 away. So if you can help out that would be great. Also, if you enjoy the channel, everything we do here in the show, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, the like button. It's free of charge. It takes a half second at a time, and we try to get every show to 200 to 300 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but not least, just so you are aware, outside of being a YouTuber and a coach, a scout, I am a realtor. So if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, you can give me a call or shoot me a text. You see my number on the screen, 269-998-2384. We can have a quick conversation, how I can try to save you some money, make the process easier. And it can be commercial land. It can be vacant land. It can be a new home for you and the fam. Whatever it is, give me a call, shoot me a text, and we'll discuss. If you're outside of the state of Michigan, we can still chat. Still try to make some things work for you. Just got to do some things a little bit differently. All right, with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first topic of the day, and that is 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's get them going. And the first one is the former Detroit Lions draft pick preseason game made him feel sick. For Detroit Lions draft pick preseason game made him feel sick. And this is in regards to Giovanni Manu. This is something that came from the Detroit Lions themselves, not really an article or whatever, but how worked up was Giovanni Manu? We'll just say his pregame ritual apparently might, if you guys get the gist when it comes to steaming Willie Beeman from any given Sunday, it's probably along those lines. Manu apparently was really worked up for it, like most people are. I know we talked about Hendon Hooker in his first preseason game. I said, man, when you watch him, when we watch his feet, watch how many times he was patting the ball. Yeah, that's a guy that had a lot of adrenaline going through him, a lot of, just nervous energy. And I think for most rookies, that's fairly normal. Manu, though, had it a little extreme. That also explains why you could see a noticeable jump between preseason game 1 and 2 in his performance. I'm sure Hank Fraley is also to be credited for his development, but on top of that, he probably calmed down a little bit. All right, reevaluating the Detroit Lions wide receivers as cut day approaches. This is by Colton Pouncey of The Athletic, and he does a bit of a Scooby-Doo deep dive, walking you through each of the candidates that he believes have an opportunity to make the team. I think it's a pretty good story. If you're sitting around today or whatever, tomorrow, or just in the weekend, you want to read something, find out a little bit of more inside information about each of the guys, go ahead and check it out. All right, Penei Sewell, I know we covered this yesterday, but they had an update on this. Penei Sewell is, quote, fine after leaving Detroit Lions practice with an injury. Report from Detroit Free Press, story by Jared Ramsey. So I get it, man. Penei Sewell, if he's not the best tackle in the NFL, he's in a very selective group. We can all probably agree on that. Beyond that, you get a story about one of the dominant players in the NFL leaving practice for a potential injury. That's going to draw some raised eyebrows for sure. So the good part is they've gotten further cooperation now, a couple days removed from it, that he's right as rain, good to go. Might be a little stiff and sore, but as we all know, he's not doing anything today. He's not going to do anything tomorrow. They've got 2 days off after that with Sunday and Monday before they come back for the cuts. Some guys won't be coming back, or at least to clear out their lockers. So he's going to have a little bit of a time to just kind of recuperate it. Next week, is he going to do much? I guess it depends on how fast a 23-year-old ankle can heal up. My guess is pretty fast. So he might be he might be put on ice, so to speak, for next week, and then have that full week and a half to recuperate before he gets back onto the field and getting ready for the LA Rams. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs trending the right way. Most injured Detroit Lions to be ready week 1. This is from USA Today. So we're starting to see more and more reports on teams, not just the Detroit Lions, starting to emerge, where a lot more topics are aiming towards week 1 of the NFL. Detroit Lions, we all get it. They're going to be a big story. We all know that SI came out and labeled us as one of the upcoming teams, or one of the best teams, I should say, to have the opportunity to win the Super Bowl this upcoming year. So we get it. The Lions are going to get the lion's share of national media thrown their way, and I think rightly so. The Lions have got a lot of good pieces. I've already been working on the preview for next week for the start of the season, and I think I've tried to go as analytical with this one as I could. It'll probably be a video. I don't know if I'll do a live for it because I really want to do justice towards evaluating everything. Although, to be fair, I guess I could just do it live, and that way you guys can have input on it as well. But Detroit Lions are sitting real good for things. All right, don't really have any NFC news and North notes for the day. Man, I always get tongue-tied twisted with that one. Just because, I think there really wasn't much with either the 3 teams in the division outside of the Detroit Lions, so I didn't want to do anything with that. So let's real quick now get over to our main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, Detroit Lions coaching staff. Where are we going to rank them? Do you agree with ESPN, The Shield, or the worldwide leader in sports? Do you think they are potentially one of the best in the NFL or the best in the NFL? Let's kind of go through this, and I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to pull up the Detroit Lions. 1 second, guys. I'm going to pull up the Detroit Lions coaching staff website here, just so you guys can have a visual while we talk about this. That way you don't have to stare at my mug all day. All right, let's go through this. Let's walk through this. All right, Dan Campbell, what do you guys think? I get a lot of people gave him grief when he started with the NFL, with the Detroit Lions in his coaching tenure. But I don't think they do that so much anymore. Gambling man Dan, the head guy himself, he's obviously the face of the franchise at this point. He's brought in a lot of different changes. And the biggest one, like it is for any coach, do you win or you lose? You can be the greatest coach on planet Earth, but if your teams don't win, not many people are going to think you're a good coach. So what we can say is in most of our lifetimes, he's in rare company when it comes to being a headlines coach. He's won playoff games. He's won a division. He's done a lot of things in short order. And you could probably have the commentary that he inherited one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL just a couple seasons ago. What he's done, I would say this is noteworthy. Where I would put him in the NFL hierarchy of coaches, I guess at this point, if the trend really is your friend, there's an argument to be made that he is top 5, maybe top 3. Now, that could change a lot from year to year, but at least right now, heading into this year with the momentum he has, it's hard to go against him in that regard. So I'm going to put him somewhere in the top 5. I'm not going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to say, hey, throw the top 5 guys in there. He's in there, and let them all just go to their strengths and weaknesses, find what's right for your team. All right, let's go to the next one here. I'll go ahead and circle him so you can see it, but I'm hoping most of you guys can see him on your screen. Ben Johnson. Hey, sort of like MCDC, his rise to fame and popularity has been noteworthy, and it's been a rocket ride up. He's done a great job, and in short order, Anthony Davis took over when MCDC came in. Anthony Davis was the offensive coordinator, for those who may not remember or know. Got off to a tumultuous start. It's not that the offense was bad. It's not like he had a lot of weapons to work with. It just wasn't working the way that I guess MCDC, Jared Goff, and some other guys wanted it to work. So he became the fall guy, and usually I'm not a fan of that. When, as a coach myself, I'm not a fan of that when you, I guess, fire somebody in season, even though he wasn't fired. He was reassigned to a different position. We'll probably never know all the layers to that story. But Ben Johnson, what we can say is the offense has changed exponentially during his time. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Maybe they just got enough good parts around him in time where Ben Johnson took over at the right time to be the winner, not the loser of that. That I'm not here to debate. But what I can say is Ben Johnson has done a phenomenal job with this offense. He becomes unpredictable. The fact you put your right tackle as a fullback, as a tight end in motion, have him release out there to catch passes potentially sometimes. He has obviously caught some passes too. Just little nuances like that make it very difficult for a defensive coordinator or the opposing team to really calculate and pick up everything. Remember, they really only have from one game on a Sunday to the next game on a Sunday, you effectively have 3 practices to prepare for the next team. You do have some walkthrough stuff, but really it comes down to 3 practices. How much can you really focus on taking away from the other team in that amount of time? My experience being around football, reporting or whatever, it's hard. The more different layers an opposing offense or defense can throw at you, it means the less time you can actually effectively take away any of those things because you only have so much time to get ready. All right, the next I would say give Mark Brunell a lot of credit here and quarterback assistants TJ Barrett. What you've seen with Jared Goff and his resurrection, his renaissance, I think Mark Brunell and TJ Barrett need some credit for it. I'm not going to say that either one of them are the best quarterback coaches in the NFL because, to be honest, I have no way of evaluating that. I don't sit there and watch what they do. But what we can say is Jared Goff now versus Jared Goff when he got here. Jared Goff in LA versus when he got here. You can see development. Is it maturity? Is it just natural progression from being in the league? Or do these two gentlemen need a lot of credit? I would say this. They probably both should. It might be kind of under the radar. But what you're seeing with Goff, the fact that he doesn't make some of the questionable plays that he once upon a time did in his career, I think should be a credit to their coaching staff. Hank Fraley is the next one I'm going to go to, offensive line coach. If you guys watch this show for more than a New York minute, I think pretty highly of him. I was surprised this offseason he did not receive head coaching offers, at least nothing that became public, I should say. I think he's done a phenomenal job. In my humble opinion, he is the best offensive line coach in the NFL. But that's also why on my 53-man roster, I think we're going to lean towards keeping so many younger players because of their upside potential. And the fact you're having them coached up by Hank Fraley. We mentioned Giovanni Manu earlier in the show. I think, man, you're seeing the impact Fraley has on him already. You're seeing that development and rapidly. He's seen it with Sorsdale, if I'm saying that correctly, finally, and other guys too. It's not just one or two guys, but I think because Fraley's impact and how much everybody believes in him, that's why you have a bigger movement towards, in my opinion, on the 53-man roster, a younger lineup. All right, Antoine Randall L. Most of you know him as a player, not many as a coach, but he also, in my opinion, has done a phenomenal job with the wide receiver room. And you're going to want to see how much he's put to the test this year. A lot of it will be determined by who they keep on the 53-man roster. Do we keep 4? Do we keep 5? Do we keep 6 wide receivers? If some of them are developmental reasons, younger, less proven guys, to me, that's a strong indication they have a lot of belief in Antoine Randall L. To help out with that. And Seth Ryan. Yes, that is not Buddy, Rex Ryan's son, by the way, in case you didn't know. All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball real quick. Aaron Glenn is the face of the defense, and I think he's the right man for it. I think he's aggressive. I think he's assertive, and I do not think he's had a lot of talent in his time in Detroit. So has the defense always looked great? No, it hasn't. In fact, it's been the weak aspect of the team during MCDC, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson's tenure here. But that's no longer the case. Aaron Glenn this year has a lot of talent to work with. Defensive line, we've been talking about it. The 53-man roster cutdowns, we're talking about if parts are going to get traded away. It's a real strong possibility that a lot of it is on the defensive line or the secondary. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. And I think what that means is these guys have been all grinding all summer long to try to put themselves in the best position to make the 53. Aaron Glenn this time, I think, is going to be able to switch up things on defense very frequently. I think he's going to be able to do a lot of different aggressive things like you saw towards the end of last year and even the season prior. I'm excited to see what Aaron Glenn does with this defense and all the talent they have. If the talent can live up to the hype, I think we're going to have maybe a top 10 defense. Who knows? Maybe we'll supersede expectations, even make it like top 7 or 6 or something like that. I don't want to say above that just because I think that's going to be a huge move for the D. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen. I just don't want to set bad expectations. Next person I'm going to go to is linebackers coach Kelvin Shepard. I think, if Aaron Glenn wasn't here, Shepard probably would be the DC, in my opinion. Could be way wrong with that. But I think he does real good work, and I love his intensity. If you ever watch a Lions practice, you know what I mean real quick. You hear the players talk about him, and then what I like is how he's moved those players around during last season, I'm assuming this upcoming season, and the past. He plays a lot of chess out there. He is moving one guy around to free up another guy, and to me, that's a sign of good coaching. Now, keep in mind, he has to do that in improvement with Aaron Glenn's wishes. He can't do something that Aaron Glenn doesn't want to do, but I believe he's given a lot of free reign with the linebackers, and that's why I think the linebacking staff last year noticeably had a large jump forward. All right, next one I'll go to. I'm not going to go through everybody, but Terrell Williams, I think you're already seeing his impact on this defensive line and the defense as a whole. I'm going to give him credit for the front 7. Yes, Shepard runs the linebackers, but they also work in tandem with each other, setting things up. You can't have one thing happening without the other one happening. So Williams, what I can see on film, and this goes back to watching like the joint practices with the Giants and then some of the preseason games, you see a lot more assertive nature from our defensive line. It's not as stagnant as it was last year or the year before, where, again, this could come down to something Aaron Glenn has given him approval to do, and where in the past games or seasons, Aaron Glenn has not allowed that. That part I don't know. But what I can say was with Williams, you're seeing a lot of guys focusing on that snap, trying to shoot gaps between offensive linemen and put immediate pressure on the quarterback. They're not trying to contain. They're not trying to just move the offensive line. They are aggressively trying to impact the game and get to the quarterback, i.e. running back on the way to the quarterback. So that's my thoughts on it. I think you're going to see more and more development from these guys on the defensive line, which also could be why so many of them are looking good in the preseason, why so much depth is coming forward. So those are my quick thoughts on this. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's head over to the Duke Crew comment section. Like I said, we've got, about 12 minutes or so until Hutch Jr. joins us. So let me go ahead and get this off the screen. And let's get over to the comment section and see what you guys have to say this morning. Hopefully everyone is having an outstanding day. I see the comment section is alive and well. So let's get into it. JDC, good morning all. Good morning to all Lions fans. morning to the rest, 100%, and go with that. Good morning to you, JDC. Frank the Tank, what up, though, to East Side? Woo, woo, woo! Go Lions, 100% Tank. Hopefully it's a great day for you. Papa, what do you got? Good morning to you all. I am happy to see the staff of coaching is recognized with their talents. Yes, they are getting some recognition, 100%. Michael D. Greens, salutations, coach and Duke crew. Superdome or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. Good morning, Michael. And just for you, my friend, just for you, let's go ahead and throw a little woo in there. There we go. All right, let's see. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. Anyone else think Sunday night comes and we have some new players in Detroit after Holmes makes some deals? Pomp, I do. Okay, yeah, I do too. I don't know if it'll be Sunday, but probably, I guess you could say Sunday or Monday. If you're going to have some trades happen, if you're going to have some additions to this team, it's going to happen by that point. All right, in my opinion. JDC, getting real, the D, go Lions, 100%. Bo, good morning, Duke crew. No insignia needed. Our rank is apparent. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you too, Bo. Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo! 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 And all of the above. And hope you're having a great day there, Matthew. Voltron Force. Good morning, everyone. Hey, man, we've got the tools and the talent. It's Miller time. 1,000%, man. Nice Ghostbuster reference. All right, Captain America, good morning. Do we know yet how much of the game Hooker gets tomorrow and if he will start? If that's been announced, I haven't seen it, to be fair, Steve. I'm assuming we don't know yet, but if somebody is aware of it, go ahead and throw it in the comments section. So, small greetings, salutations. Let's make that SI call happen 100%. Yes, let's get it to the Super Bowl and then win it. Anthony, good morning, Duke crew. Rise and grind, 1,000%. Yeah, get on up, get ready for your day, get the day underway. Clark, we are about 15 days away from the start of the season! Exclamation point. Coach, you doing a live watch party for the game? Question mark. If so, I'm in like Flynn. Yeah, I'll do one for that night. The only thing I would say is just keep in mind when you're watching these lives, I do play-by-play. I can only go by what I see on the screen. Yes, some of you guys are behind me. Some of you are ahead of me. Just do what you can to all have fun with the live cast and enjoy the show. Enjoy watching it with a group of your friends. That's how I try to view it. You're hanging out with your buddies. You're watching. You're talking about their plays. You're bemoaning this play. You're cheering on that play. So just have fun with it, basically. Eddie, greetings, salutations. All the coaching staff is one of the reasons I believe taking the developmental draft player. Yeah, I concur. I don't think if you didn't believe in this staff as a whole, then Broderick Martin probably wouldn't have been brought in. Then you think Ife Melifanu wouldn't have been brought in. And you go through a litany of guys on the team that fit that bill, but I think you're 100% right, Eddie. Hey, man, good morning, Dan, the crew. Another beautiful morning today before the heat starts up again. Well, the heat is on, and hopefully we're bringing the heat on Matthew Stafford week 1. That's my hope. Bo, the Sports Illustrated cover boys, 100%. I thought that was a nice cover, too. I know a number of you sent me over copies of the pictures, I guess from the magazine or whatever. But I thought they did a real nice job with that photo shoot. I know there's some videos out there of the guy who owns the car, too, talking about what he had to do to get the car right or whatever. But, hey, it was a nice move by Sports Illustrated. France, good day, everyone. Tomorrow is a great day because it ends the preseason, but a bad day because nearly half of the team becomes unemployed. That's the reality of it, and the dream ends for some people. A few of them, when they get cut, they'll end up being acquired by other teams. But most of them, yeah, their dream of NFL success will have gone by. And it's unfortunate, man. It's the good and the bad of the nature of the beast. See, JDC, congrats to the employed. Keep on trucking to the rest. Now, that's a great way to put it there, JDC. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Sleeping in today and listening. Hoping everyone has an outstanding day. Go Lions. Well, go, Stephanie. Hey, there are not many people that probably work harder than you, but so enjoy your rest when you get it. Hooker time. Good morning, all Rams and Bucks to start the year. No small task. I'm glad both are in Detroit. Yeah, me too, man, because I think that's a bit of an advantage for us. See, Jess, yes, sir, at Hooker time, in your opinion, that's a large advantage for us early in the year. Hell, any time of the season, really. Yeah, I'll go with that. Anytime you can have a home game versus a road game, it's probably a big plus. Tori, my question for all, who will be the tougher game to start the year, Rams or Bucks? Question mark. I think the Rams myself. Good morning, Coach and the Duke crew. I mean, I guess if I'm going to throw one out there, probably the Rams. because of the factor of Matthew Stafford, the kind of sideshow that will be again. The other part is with it being the first game of the regular season, you just don't, there's so much more opportunity for someone to hit you with something schematically that you're not prepared for. Every game that goes on throughout the season, coaching staffs have more and more information that they've acquired from watching the tapes, or the scouting staff has gone through it and say, hey, when they go to this formation, this is probably what they're doing here. 97% chance they're going to do this. 47% chance they're going to do that. 3% chance there. I mean, you get the gist. And yeah, both teams will be able to get away with a lot more gadgetry on opening day than any other point in the year. See, Bo, the next game is always the toughest. I would agree with that. I've spoken like a true coach there. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Just one step closer to the season getting underway. I concur with that. 100%. Get that season going. Hatman, I'm most excited to see what Laporta, Gibbs, Branch, and Baki do this year. And JMO, we are Super Bowl bound, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of good young talent. And, yeah, that talent is going to probably show up pretty nicely for Lions fans. JDC, always win the next game. Yes, that is the most important game, the one that's next on the schedule. Ken, good morning, Danny Do and the Do Crew. In your opinion, our coaching staff is number one, and I would second that. I think it's going to be hard to find staffs. I mean, everybody's going to have their strengths as respective staffs. I think as a culmination, though, a whole, you're going to have a hard time finding one better than the Detroit Lions. See, good morning, Dan and the Do Crew. Woo! For Detroit Lions. Heck, Coach, we have one coaching staff for a few years. Right, I'll go with that, and I agree. Yes, so our staff is pretty dang solid, and it's good that the rest of the league is starting to figure that out. Good morning, my brother from another mother, Anthony. There we go. Sorry, it's getting a little lag here. It appears, so I know things are not popping up like they normally do. All right, Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. See, Mike the Marine, Gunny, howdy, Dan, and Do Crew. Happy Friday to everyone. Woo! And hopefully, Gunny, it is a great, outstanding day for you. See, Ken, one game at a time, 15-2, NFC North, number one seed, playoff bye, Lombardi. Woo! All the above, Ken. Let's make all that happen. Dan Lyon, good morning, Duke Crew, and Dan, I agree. This is the best coaching staff I've ever witnessed as a Lions fan. Yeah, prior to this one, I would say the best would have been the Tom Moore, Wayne Fonts, all them guys from the late 80s to early mid-90s. That would be my guess. I'd see Dan. Oh, and I forgot the woo! Let's go Lions, 100%. I got you covered, man. See, Detroit D, greetings, salutations, everyone. Good to see you, D. Hopefully having a great day, and thank you. See, the non-laughers, ESPN and SI just solidified what we all thought. Woo! Yeah, I mean, hey, I think the bandwagon in the next week or two leading into the regular season, I think it's going to pick up more and more steam as far as national media and Detroit. Shane, morning. Good morning, Shane. Kurt, I like turtles. Hey, you got to like something in life, so I'm glad you like something. And thank you for that, Kurt. Let's see. Robert agrees. All Thornton followers. Exclamation point. Superdome or bust. Woo! I'll go with that, Robert. And thank you for that. That made me laugh, man. Key. Owe him. Yes, owe him. All right. Motel Mitch. Greetings, salutations, Coach and Do Crew. Lions rule. Bears drool. 1,000%. Augustus the Jedi. What do you got? Let's go Lions. Super Bowl bound. 100%. I agree with your assessment. See, Don, I take anything ESPN or SI say with a grain of salt, all right? I'll take it with a grain of Mountain Dew, if you would, please. See, Amy, happy Saturday, Dan and Dew Crew, Super Bowl, here we come. Woo! All right, Amy, speaking about the future there, I like it. Let's see, Broski, Ben Johnson, yes, AG, no, MCDC, all right, we'll go with that. See, Shane, Bears team, trash player, and coaches plus GM. All right, that's an opinion. Kurt, will Christian Muhammad start the season on the pub? I think so. I think I don't remember all the rules and regulations for the NFI, but I believe since they brought him back, he's got a 3-week, maybe it's 4-week window where they can evaluate him before he counts against the 53. So maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think that sounds right. Courtney, throw Chow. There we go. We'll throw everything. Say Broski, Brunell as coach, QB coach. Yes, yeah. I think he does a pretty good job with things. But again, I don't see him on a daily basis. See, Chan, let's get the regular season here already. Yeah, I think we're all chomping at the bit to get this thing going. Bo, the upchuck boogie. There we go. We can do that. Let's see, John. Woo! All right. Good morning, John. And back at you with the woo. See, Shane, good song. Good song indeed. Chad, MCDC, the best coach out there. Broski Bear, way better than Flub Fields. There we go. Flubus, Flubus, whatever. Derek, good morning, coach and crew. Coach, give me a Sheila. Woo! Go Lions. You know what? You asked for it. We'll give it to you. There you go. Anthony, so when is cuts? What is it? Tuesday, I want to say, the 27th. So, yeah, today is the 23rd. So, yeah, 4 more days. Anthony, when do we find out our 53? I believe it's on the 27th. There you go. Shane, Red No Inside the Den coming out. Oh, that stinks. I like the Inside the Den. Let's see. Hatman, Tuesday is cut day. That's what I thought. So, hey, sometimes I get my math right. Let's see. Derek, making my famous grit and eggs for breakfast tomorrow. Well, enjoy it, man. I like that, especially with a little hot sauce. See, Anthony, thanks, Hatman. Coach Rock, what do you got? Good morning, all. I think the third quarter cost them the top coaching spot, but that will be cleaned up this year. Woo! Yeah, you can't fix everything at once, but let's hopefully see them fix the third quarter thing this upcoming season. Hey, man, watching Lions Talk Live with my woo coffee. There you go. Hey, no better brand of coffee out there. Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. What up, Dude Crew? What up to you too, Man of Steel? Hopefully you're having a great one. Hatman, Absolute Anthony. Hatman, what up, Kurt? What up, Kurt? Patrick, what do you got? I was ecstatic when I heard MCDC talk when he was hired. He spoke my language. Yeah, you could tell from watching that he would be a player's coach, and that has proven to hold true. See, JDC, hey, Kurt. Perryman, greetings, salutations, Dude Crew from Sheboygan. All grit, all day. Woo! And good morning, Perryman. Hopefully you are having a good one, my friend. Hookadoo, good morning, Man of Steel. There you go. Anthony, morning, Mr. Steele. William, who's number 1 on the list? Question mark. Dan should have been coach of the year last season. You know, I'm guessing just because they didn't win the Super Bowl, that's why they went with the Chiefs. But hey, you know, if you're in Andy Reid's era or level, you're doing pretty well. Patrick, MCDC top 3 for me. Ben Johnson, I say number 1 or 2 for offensive coordinator. Fair enough. Bo, vision of Chester Puller went through my head the first time MCDC spoke Patrick. All right, I'll go with that. See, Patrick, AG this year will tell the tale 100%. I think they're going to have a pretty good season, though. I'm liking what I think he's going to do. Phil, Bears clobbered KC. Yes, they did. Preseason games. Just remember, the year Lions didn't win a game in the regular season. They were undefeated in the preseason. So there you go. All right, Perryman, it's a good rank. Overall, our coaches are great. I would agree with that. I think we got some pretty good coaches. Shane, Bears still had a sneeze. Bears still aren't great. All right. Kurt talked about the SI article live this morning after Dan is done. Yeah, talk about it. I think, especially that artwork, I think they did a pretty good job. And Kurt, I'll be tuning in to hear your intellectual thoughts on that, my friend. I want to hear it. All right, and see, DeMonte's Dice, what do you got? Bears coming for the North? It could be. I would hope they're coming for the North, but they might run into a brick wall or an ice wall or maybe an ice cage. I don't know. Might run into the Lions on the way. Let's see, Anthony. Yep, Lions won all the preseason and proceeded to go 0-16. Yeah, so I get it. I mean, you can do a lot of the good things in the preseason. That's not a strong barometer on how you're going to do in the regular season. All right, Scott, awesome cover, but Hutch was missing. I think he's in some of the shots, but not on the. You're right, not on the actual cover for SI. So, yeah, that I don't know why that didn't happen. You would think he might be in there. Let's see, Kurt, MCDC has built a hell of a coaching staff. Yes, they have. Shane coming for the basement of the North. It could be that too. Amy, good morning, Dan Ducrew, Super Bowl or bust. Woo! And good morning, Amy. Hopefully having a great day. Kurt, I'm curious of why the Bears, of all fans, want to troll Detroit Lions shows. It is we don't have any Vikings or Green Bay Packer fans in here. It is just Bears for some reason. Maybe it's the proximity. I don't know. Damani, that 2008 Lions team was not good and had little talent. No comparison to the Bears. That was Detroit mess. Yeah, but I get that. But, it's like talking about, in 1842, that Bears team, that was pretty good. We haven't seen anything since, but, is what it is. I try to go with this. The trend is your friend, Damani. So I would say this. What did you guys do last year? What did we do this year? Or last year, I should say. So go with that. So until a trend is broken, it's still the trend. All right, Anthony, like I said before, it's great they can beat vanilla defense. Let's see what it does when it counts. Yeah, to me, and as a USC guy, you guys have heard me say this before, that's going to be Caleb's biggest test. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier in the preseason because nobody's doing line adjustments before the snap, and then more importantly, secondary adjustments after the snap. That's where I think most young quarterbacks really struggle. He might come out and throw 1,000 touchdowns in the first quarter of his first NFL game. He might come out and throw 1,000 picks. That's where we're going to have to wait and see how he does. All right, I agree. Kurt says Shane. The Bears strong on both sides of the ball. Well, so is everybody in the preseason. All right, Anthony, Kurt Steele, they're undercover brothers. Hey, there you go. Phil, Lions are stronger. I would agree with that. Perryman, Chiefs went 0-3 in the preseason games, but didn't matter. Yeah, and that's the other thing that doesn't get talked about a lot. Look at the last, several years for the Chiefs in the preseason. Do they do very well from a win-loss standpoint, I should say? So that should pretty much summarize what happens. I can remember, I want to say the Dallas Cowboys, when they had the triplets and everything in the 90s, they rarely won preseason games, but yet they made it to the NFC title game or the Super Bowl and won it fairly regularly. So, again, preseason, I mean, who cares? Shane, then go hang out on the Bears channel, not the Lions. I agree with that, guys. If you're a Bears fan, hey, you want to come on in, that's great. But if you're going to try to distract us from the Lions, I'm going to have to put you in a timeout. All right, Kurt, Lions fans, stay in our lane and celebrate our team, and people can't stand us having a good team. That's, I think you're spot on. And I know a number of you guys have said that. It's like they're jealous of us, in which they should be. If you're chasing us, you're jealous. All right, spot on, Man of Steel. Shane, yeah, don't go to other teams' channels, just the Lions, 100%. Anthony, it's the absolute Man of Steel. All right, well, I gave you a warning there, buddy, and hey, let's, like a little kid, I'm gonna put you in timeout. All right, Gary, good morning, all. Grip for life. I never I never thought I would see the day when we could be the favorites to win the Super Bowl on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Am I in bizarro world? He might be, but enjoy it while we're here. Bo, can I get my picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone? Hey, you gotta have goals in life. Let's see if you can make it happen. Greetings, salutations, Superdome bound. Woo! I was having a debate yesterday that I feel the Lions have the best overall coaching staff. And you know what? Maybe they were listening into your conversation, Chuck E. Cheese. That's where they got the story. Mile Margaret really enjoyed this look at coaches. Hey, it was something different to do, right? So, Hatman looks like Broski is undercover with a new name and thumbnail. The DeMonte Dice. It could be. Kurt Steele, my point exactly, DeMonte Dice. We don't talk down our team. Yeah, 100%. Moving on from him. See, Phil, I'm holding everything back until we see our real team play. We haven't seen anything yet. Anything. Yeah, and that's true with every team in the NFL right now. See, Ogadu, Hatman, I was thinking the same thing. There you go. Broski Bear, exactly. Phil, Anthony, I've been a Lions fan my whole life, 58 years old and counting, so I'm excited to get to be a part of the Lions era, and being able to enjoy and share with the other Lions fans is a blessing. Yeah, everybody in here just having a good time, man. And that's why with the lives, hopefully we'll have a fun time too. All right, let's see. Don, what do you got? ESPN Sports Illustrated picked us. You mad? It sounds like he's mad, bro. Let's see. JIK, what do you got? I left the show after the second woo. Yeah, we'll see you later, man. Have a good day, my friend. See, Hatman Hookadoo, there you go. Thumbs up. Let's see, Broski. Yes, this is a great channel. It is a great channel. Thank you for that. See, Don. Well, Phil. Well, keep holding back, letting it loose. There you go. Let it loose. Chad, Kurt Steele, because it helps them feel they will actually win something. There's probably a whole lot of truth to that. A whole lot of truth. Don, this is probably the fake Broski giving nice gestures. It could be. Steven, what do you got? I think Lions are cream of the crop of the NFC with Packers number 2. Pun intended. 49ers are 3rd. All right, there we go. All right, we got time now. Hey, he's over here from his busy day, so we're going to bring in the special guest of the day. All right, you guys all know him. Hey, is Hutch Jr. How you doing this morning?
Good, guys. How about you?
Just a beautiful day in Lions fandom everywhere. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. What do you think, Detroit Lions coaching staff? Are we really that good, or are they, SI, ESPN, everybody else just overhyping us?
Nah, I mean, you got to go off of what we had last year, and we only added to that. So, I mean, I guess you can go off hype, but you can also say that they're more improved. I mean, I think everyone after last year said going into this year they were Super Bowl favorites just off of what they achieved last year. So, when a team goes into the offseason and know what they got to do and they add to that, I mean, it's all it's not really hype. It's just one of those teams that I think everyone's talked about for being Super Bowl.
So roughly, we'll just say roughly 30, I don't know, 36 hours from now, Lions play their final preseason game. What are you wanting to see out of the Detroit Lions in this particular preseason game?
I think the battle between Houston and Uku is going to be there. I think we need another wide receiver to step up. We need that X wide receiver. So I'm going to be looking for a big game out of Donovan Peoples-Jones, someone just to take it over. I think Dan's kind of hinting that all off season. And a little more cornerback depth. Vildor had a really nice game last week. Is he going to continue that trend, or is someone else going to take into that? So, and the nickel, man, everyone's been talking about it. Obviously we brought in a Meek for that, but now with Extra back, there's been rumors that, hey, we might, he might just take over that nickel, 4 or 5 games in, and then have a Meek play behind him. So there's a lot of things that are just cycling right now, and I'm gonna be interested to see what they do. Obviously, everyone knows Justin Fields kills us, so I would like to see our improved defense on the running quarterback aspect of the thing. So hopefully, Aaron Glenn, with whatever he throws out there, kind of shows some hint of, hey, I can stop these scrambling QBs. So,
well, so when it comes to the scrambling quarterbacks, like you mentioned, you've seen them hurt Detroit Lions a lot over the last couple years. What do you think Aaron Glenn is going to come out and reveal any nuances he's going to put in the defense to adjust for that, or do you think he just stays vanilla?
I mean, obviously in the preseason, I think everyone knows you stay vanilla, but you would like to have some kind of hope that he shows something. You're not your whole hand, but you at least got to do something, because Geno killed us, Fields killed us twice if we don't come back from that one game. And, that's kind of been our Achilles heel for, seasons, is we can never stop running quarterbacks. So, yeah, maybe he just kind of plays and see, like Danny said, there's 5 or 6 spots on this roster that need to be filled. So maybe he just sticks to the game plan and says, oh, you know what? They're going to run against us. They're going to run against us, whatever. But I personally would like to be able to know, hey, we can go in this year and not get torched through the quarterbacks that can scramble.
So you mentioned Rakestraw a minute ago. Talk about what you're seeing out of the rookies so far, because in my opinion, Manu's ahead of schedule. He is developing, but that doesn't mean other guys aren't. What do you see out of the rookie class thus far?
Yeah, obviously, from what I mean, Rakestraw to me is probably going to lock down that nickel spot here. He's very instinctive. When he played that preseason game against the Giants, he kind of knew what he was doing, and even in practice, you see it. Between him and Arnold, man, going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're always 1 and 2. They don't shy away from going against the best wide receiver. So and I think that's only going to make them better, during the season. So Extra is just kind of nice. Terrion, obviously in limited work, he showed some glimpses. I know he had a rough, joint camp with the Giants against Malik Neighbors, but Malik Neighbors is a freak athlete. So, it's going to be interesting with these guys. I think they're going to kind of be big parts of our defense. Manu, as you mentioned, he's way ahead of schedule. Hopefully we get Mahogany, in there sometime, and maybe he can kind of show us glimpses of what he got. Because, right now with this wide receiver thing, everyone's like, maybe you should have took a wide receiver somewhere in there before you drafted Mahogany and traded up. So, but I mean, if Mahogany works out, it looks like another genius idea by Brad.
So I know there's been a lot of debate this week. In fact, I want to say we did a video on it yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, about, I think it sounds like, talking to different people in the Detroit media base, that they believe the Lions are going to use tomorrow as an opportunity to showcase guys for potential trades. Try to get them to look as good as possible, put them in favorable situations. We also know MCDC tries to take care of, his boys. If you've played for him, he wants to do right by you, try to put you and your career, your family in a good position. With that being said, who do you think are potential trade baits for the Detroit Lions before cut day Tuesday?
I think the obvious candidate would be Houston, but I just, deep down in my mind, I don't think we trade him just because we moved him back to the end. Gilmore, is he going to be one of those guys that maybe makes his team, doesn't? Or maybe, hey, Vildor's a piece that they trade and then they keep one of these other guys as depth. I'd hate to see some of these guys go, but I think this comes with the territory, man. You get a good team, then you start piecing together. Ukwu maybe doesn't even make this team if, I feel like this between him and Houston, this is like one of those games where, hey, one of you guys is making this team and one of you guys aren't.
Right.
And if it's Uku, then maybe they trade James Houston. If it's James Houston, then maybe they. I feel like Uku, if he gets cut, he's going to get picked up by someone, which is going to suck. So, yeah, it's Isaiah Williams. Unfortunately, I know he's had a crazy preseason, but he's another X wide receiver, and do we really need another X? Not really, So there's a lot of names that I'm kind of keeping my eye on, but I would like to see us maybe go and look at other teams. I mean, Jahan Dotson just got traded to the Eagles. Howie Roseman, man, that guy he continues to find ways to build rosters. I mean, so something like that. Maybe we find someone on the cut brink or someone like that. It's not going to cost us maybe but a 6th round pick. I probably wouldn't have traded that for Jahan Dotson, but I'm not a GM. So, but that was a nice pickup by the Eagles.
So there's been a lot of talk about the Lions wide receiver room. Some people are saying, hey, we may only carry 4 wide receivers. Others are saying 6. Some are saying, we're in a real good situation just because we're going to use running backs, tight ends in some of those roles. What do you think against opening day against the Rams? Do you think we just go with 4 or 5 wide receivers, the guys we already have? Or do you think there's somebody out there still we're looking to acquire?
I would probably say as of right now, we stick with what we have. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, just because of his height, makes this team. Unfortunately, I mean, he hasn't done a lot, but I heard he had a great couple days of the last camp. He's had some catches, things like that. So maybe starting to gain the rhythm. But I think I think Brad will keep his eyes open. I think he probably looks to trade if Donovan Peoples-Jones doesn't make it. So yeah, I think ours, going into the season, it's going to be Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Khalif. And that might be it, which is going to suck. But maybe they split Will Porter out wide. Maybe they split Gibbs out wide. Maybe they use those guys as like technically wide receivers to kind of give us that edge on that, on that field. But me personally, I would like to have another wide receiver on this team. It's just, knock on wood. No, hopefully our injury bugs are out of the way and nothing happens because, you might be one injury on this team away on that wide receiver depth room, so. It can get scary at times.
That's my only worry if they end up keeping only 4 is that, one guy goes down. Now you're really limited. So that's why I'm leaning towards them keeping 5 just to prevent that. But you never know. If they feel like, hey, the 5th wide receiver, just to give them a grade, is a 4 out of 10, but I can keep this defensive lineman who's a 7 out of 10. I want to keep the 7 out of 10. So I get why they might be doing that. So all right, so with the cuts coming down, if you had to guess any kind of surprises, what do you think could be a potential surprise going into Tuesday's cut downs for the Detroit Lions?
I mean, the name that kind of stands out to me right now is James Houston. He's kind of had that weird, like, hey, we're going to move you to Sam, then we're going to move you back to DN, but we really don't know what you have. We're going off 2 years ago. Hey, you had 8 sacks and 6 games or whatever you had. Yep. To me, man, I don't get the James Houston cut situation. Like, I get that he's been injured, and I mean, that's not really his fault, but you know what you have. And I know Oku's had an amazing, preseason, but so maybe you keep Uku and then if James Houston just doesn't do it, you find something you can get for him and then move Uku to the roster later in the season. So, I mean, to me, I think it'd be James Houston. I don't think Gilmore's probably going to make this team, unfortunately. I just think with Vildor's experience and what he's brought to the table the last couple of weeks, I could be shocked. Maybe Gilmore comes out and has another amazing game and he makes his 53-man. I've always been a fan of Gilmore. I thought he should have been one of the call-ups last year, but he wasn't. So right now it's Houston. I'm leaning a lot more towards Houston, but I'm a Houston fan. I'll ride and die to this guy until we either let him go or whatever. But yeah, it's rough season for Houston, man, and you got to feel for the guy. He came in his first year, had an amazing year. It looked like he locked down that DN position, and then now he's on the verge of cuts. So,
well, that's I guess just the reality of it all is that it's just what happens on a week to week, yet alone yearly basis with the Detroit Lions or just any NFL team. You can be a star one week, you can be unemployed the next week. But I do agree with you. The battle there for the defensive end spots between James Houston, Mitchell Aguiye, and then Uku, I think that's a pretty good one. I know, what's the other guy's name? He went on the IR. I I can't remember it off my top of my noggin. It's something Neal or something like that. He got injured against the Giants. But I thought, man, if you had all four of them, two of them are probably traded because just guys that size with that kind of burst are rare. But, hey, the Lions are in a pretty good spot. And that is a real credit to the scouting department, the fact that you've been able to acquire some of these guys. So, all right. So why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where they can find you, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, name Mike, obviously, Hutch Jr., Lions superfan. You can catch me on Twitter at the one and only Hutch Jr. You can catch me on Catch My Vibe Radio and podcast on there as well. You can always catch me on here when Dan invites me with the the crew. So I appreciate you guys having me on, man. And yeah, go Lions, games tomorrow. And, and then we got, a week till countdown. So we're ready for it, man. It's going to be exciting. Let's Super Bowl bus season, and let's keep this train rolling. And, let's get away from this injury scare bug, so.
Right. And I did see your guys' comment that the one guy was back, and I did block him. So I don't know if he just made another account that fast and got back, but hey, he's blocked again. So hey, part of it. So all right, Hutch Jr., I want to thank you for coming on the show. And then, hey, we're going to get a preview episode going for the NFC North. I'll give you some dates and times, maybe if you want to hop on with that. But breaking down just the whole thing, like everybody's going to do before the league season actually begins. So, all right, man, thanks for coming on today.
Yep, thanks for having me, man.
We'll see you now. All right, that was Hutch Jr. I want to thank him for coming on over. And yes, I did reblock the blocked guy. So, hey, back onto the comment section. Chuck E. Cheese preseason is meaningless except for players trying to earn a spot. Nothing more. Yes, well, I will say from a coaching standpoint, you get to evaluate, you get to, toy with different stuff. But you're right, Chuck E. Cheese. At the end of the day, the results of these games, as we all know, they don't carry over to the regular season. All right, Bo, Jason, bring the kilt of destiny. Hey, that's what we need right there. Dimitri, what up, though, Lions fam? What up to you, too? Hopefully a great morning. Let's see, Mojo12, Lions channel, guys, 100%. And I am going to try to police that more and more. Just, hey, you guys want to make an occasional comment about another team, that's fine. But if you're a Bears fan, let's say, and coming in trying to hype the Bears all day, you're probably going to be out of here pretty quick. All right, Shane, what time is the game tomorrow, crew? I want to say, is it 4 o'clock? No, it's 1 o'clock tomorrow, I want to say. So, pretty sure somebody's got that in the comment section, but yeah, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Hey man, come peeps, tickle that like button for the best Lions content. Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed or hit the thumbs up button, the like button, go ahead and do so. See, Motown Mitch, painted nails, do T sound like a football player to me. There you go. Don't sound like a football player. There you go. Bo confirms 1 o'clock. Thank you for that. See, Chuck E. Cheese. We'll see, seen it last year. We'll have dang near the same offensive team. Yes, we do. Very few changes. And yes, before you guys ask, I will have a live cast tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So for anybody who wants to come on over. See, Shane, thanks, Bo Booth. There you go, Bo Booth. Dimitri, Don Burr, me too, bro. Let's see, JDC. It was also noted Bears quarterback Caleb Williams breaks record fourth nail. There you go. His playing status is unknown at this time. Stay tuned to Coach Dan Lions Talk Live for more updates. Go Lions. Hey, thank you for that, JDC. Yes, we will try to keep you updated on Nailgate. There you go. Pearman, it's between Houston and Ukwa. I'm pulling for Ukwa. Sorry, Coach. It happens, man. Everybody's going to have their favorites. Me as a coach, you might have favorites, but the best player's got to win. And if Houston's the guy, then he's the guy. If he's not, it will be interesting to see to me. Do they keep less guys at different spots to keep more better talent at other spots? We'll have to wait and see where they go with this. Phil, Do Crew, or Boo-Hoo Crew, all the above, maybe. Phil Lions, Kings of the North, I believe in that. Let's see, Chris, I believe Kurt. Shane, Lions King. Shane is a king. All right, there you go, King Shane. Bo, Nate Lynn, thank you, is on IR. That's who it was. And yeah, I really liked him. Let's see, JDC, brand new year, brand new bash, Hallelujah Blue bash. There we go. I'd be down with that. Bo, have a great day, Hutch Jr. Shane, let's get wasted off the blue Kool-Aid crew. Woo! All the above. Yeah, and I know some people don't like the woo. I get it, but man, at this point, it's just part of the show. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Chris, thanks, Hutch Jr. Phil, thanks, Hutch. Hookadoo. Thanks for the Lions content, Jr. There we go. Broski, I'm curious to see how Lions tight ends perform this season. Does Laporta have better stats this season or do they decrease because of all the other weapons Lions have now? Who knows, man? I'd say it's probably going to be this year. You started seeing the baseline for them. I don't think they're going to go out of their way to do anything different. So just let the situations and the defense determine it. If they're going to double on him, then somebody else is going to have better stats. If they're going to double on, St. Brown, etc., then other people are going to be open. All right, Dr. Detroit. Yeah, but his hands look pretty on the football. There you go. Let's see, Andrew. The Bears are trash. They may not be good. Let's see, Dr. Detroit. Laporta is a beast. I concur. Broski, does Wright eclipse the 20 reception mark for the first time in his career this season? Depends on how they use him. If they, are going to put him out there a lot, then yeah, maybe. I've been surprised with him, pleasantly surprised, I should say, over his tenure with Detroit. I mean, he's got better wheels than probably most people anticipate. He does block fairly well. If he was with another team that didn't have a number one tight end and he actually had an opportunity, I think he would have very good stats. That doesn't mean he'd be like Sam Laporta stats or anything, but I think he would be noteworthy. All right, Andrew, putting it together like the Lions have is something more difficult than the Bears can even fathom. I would agree. From where this franchise has come and in short order, the fact that they've gotten us here this quickly, that's a real credit to all involved. Dr. Detroit, yes, Wright will find himself open and mismatched. I'll go with that. Dr. Detroit, the Bears have a solid team, but you're right. They need to get it all together. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, probably the two biggest things facing them is a rookie quarterback and an offensive line that at least currently, until we see it in the regular season, is not strong. Now, they may develop, they may get better, but hey, we're going to wait and see on that. Here's Johnny, go Lions. Woo! There you go, Johnny. The Superdome or bust, says Jason. I concur. Mo, oh my God, Coach, you caught up. Happy trails to you. All done and dusted. See y'all tomorrow. Hey, did what I could, man. Did what I could. Let's see, Broski, I'm also curious to see how the running backs share time. If the Lions are feeling Gibbs 80-20 split with Monty. I think it's going to be close to 50-50. I think an argument could be made where, Gibbs gets 60%, Monty 40%, or maybe Gibbs, 55%, Monty 45%. But I think it's going to be pretty close to 50-50. Hatman, who has it better than Lions fans? We have the two best. We have the two being the coach every. Okay. I think spell check got you there, Hatman. Sorry, man. But yeah, the spell check gets us. Two best damn coaches. There we go. Let's see. JDC, great questions, broski. Stay tuned. Coach Dan, Lions Talk Live for more updates. Happy trails, go Lions, victory. Enjoy the day, JDC. And Hookadoo, great show, Dan. Grit. Hey, thank you for that. All right, guys, we'll get you out of here so you can head on over to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast with Kurt the Hitman Steele. Hey, real quick before you leave, if you could hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, that I surely would be thankful. Also, if you can, do something kind for someone you don't know today. Be a good person. Hey, if there's some sort of breaking news, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy your day. Be kind to each other, and we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until